You're watching KUJH-TV, Lawrence. KUJH-TV News starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Juliana Tidwell.
And I'm Brittany Clampett. Thanks for joining us.
For those students who are chosen as designated drivers, nights are going to be a bit sweeter. Responsible Refreshments, a program created to encourage designated driving, offers free beverages or snacks to those who identify themselves as the designated driver or DD for the night. 9 bars and restaurants around town are participating in the program, including Tapas, The Hawk, and Tonic. Designated drivers will receive a wristband when they enter a participating location.
With finals just around the corner, many students turn to caffeinated drinks like coffee or energy drinks to get them through long hours of studying. What they don't know, however, is that high levels of caffeine could be doing them more harm than good. KUJH-TV's Charlene Chen investigates these high-energy drinks to find out more.
Every Thursday, KU senior Nathan Fordyce has classes from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening. To make it through the 12 hours on campus, Fordyce says energy drinks become a must.
I like Full Throttle, Monster, whichever one's closest for me to grab.
Fordyce says he likes the taste of energy drinks and they give him more boost than a regular Coke. However, he says he doesn't know how much caffeine he's consuming since it's not labeled on the can. To get the same amount of caffeine that you'd get by drinking 2 Monster energy drinks, you'd have to drink 14 12-ounce cans of Coca-Cola. Recently, the Food and Drug Administration received 5 reports in the past 3 years, which suggest that people died after drinking caffeinated energy drinks. KU public health educator Ken Suber says, although no exact number shows how much caffeine is too much, there are warning signs people can look for.
They're going to have rapid heartbeat. Their blood pressure is going to climb through the roof. They're going to have trouble sleeping. If they're having any types of these symptoms, if they're shaking, then those are some key signs that their levels of caffeine are definitely getting too high for their body to be able to handle that.
Suber says the key is moderation. He suggests for those who are going to consume caffeine to pay attention to serving sizes on the cans, limit intake, and drink slowly. Charlene Chen, KUJH-TV News.
This year, hundreds of students flooded the Kansas Union to dance in support of the Children's Miracle Network. KUJH-TV's Lindsay Mayfield caught up with students at the KU Dance Marathon to check out their latest moves.
The opening ceremony of KU's 5th annual Dance Marathon spotlighted some of Children's Miracle Network's Miracle Kids. KUDM Executive Director Megan Watson explained their mission through the story of a little girl who was not present at the event on Saturday. Olivia is a Dance Marathon regular whose doctors recently gave her 1.5 to 2 years to live.
We found out last night that she was admitted back to the hospital with pneumonia, and so she's really not doing well. We all cried, and then we all held hands and we said, you know what, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this.
This is the 5th annual KU Dance Marathon, and we're here at the Kansas Union. KU Dance Marathon tells me that there are more than 530 guests here today, making it the biggest KU Dance Marathon of all time. KU Dance Marathon raised more than $60,000 for KU Pediatrics Saturday at the Kansas Union. The 530 participants stood for more than 12 hours at the event and wore hospital bracelets in solidarity with the children and their families. 14-year-old Bailey Larkin and his mother Nancy Carson both attended the event. Bailey and his brother Jordan both have Shwachman-Diamond syndrome, a rare bone marrow failure disease. They said Children's Miracle Network has been there for them during their many, many hospital stays.
It has probably saved my life, literally, with all the money that they give to hospitals to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, and the nurses and doctors at KU Med Center where we're treated are just phenomenal, amazing, and it being a research center is really helpful for us having a rare disease like my boys have, because a lot of times people don't know.
Lindsay Mayfield, KUJH-TV News.
The KU Jewish population has increased from 1,300 to almost 2,000 students in the last few years. Many of these students follow a kosher diet, which makes eating on campus difficult. KUJH-TV's Jonathan Cooper tells us how the university is working to change that.
Thousands of students eat at Mrs. E's dining hall each day. And for good reason. Mrs. E's is the main food provider for those living in the dorms on Daisy Hill. But for the few hundred Jewish students who live in the dorms, their selection is limited because of KU's lack of kosher food.
It's a tremendous challenge. You could imagine what it means not being able to just eat with your friends.
Rabbi Zalman Teichtel has seen an increase in Jewish students at KU over the past few years, meaning there is a greater demand for kosher foods.
A big priority on top of the list for many families is what's the Jewish community like? What's the Jewish resources available? Are there services for the holiday? Is there kosher meals available?
In Judaism, kosher means food that is prepared as described in the Torah. That means meat coming from clean animals and using special equipment to prepare the food. Mrs. E's currently does not serve kosher foods, but that soon may change. KU's Assistant Director of Dining, Cheryl Kidwell, is overseeing a project that will renovate Mrs. E's this coming summer and will include an area designed for students with special dietary needs.
The hope is that that concept also is able to meet the needs of, like we say, our special diet students, be it a food allergy situation or kosher, halal, that kind of thing.
Kidwell says there will not be a full kosher kitchen, but there will be kosher foods available. Teichtel believes this is a step in the right direction and shows him that the university truly appreciates diversity.
And for them to take into consideration and to go the extra mile to accommodate this unique community at KU has been very meaningful to us.
Construction will start this summer and should be completed by the start of school next fall. Jonathan Cooper, KUJH-TV News.
Coming up after the break, find out why Israel is bombing Gaza and if Gaza plans to react.
Also, a Republican congressman is calling President Obama a liar, accusing the president of intentionally misinforming Americans on what really happened at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. The details after the break.
Talk to your kids about the dangers of prescription drug abuse. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. In Gaza, Israeli bombs are raining down. Medical sources tell CNN attacks by Israeli planes have killed 13 people since Wednesday afternoon, among them 2 children and a pregnant woman. More than 100 other people are said to have been injured. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will do whatever is necessary to stop Hamas rocket attacks. Mourners filled the streets of Gaza for the funeral of Ahmed al-Jabari. The Hamas military commander was killed in an Israeli attack on Wednesday.
Since the attacks by Israeli forces, Hamas Deputy Foreign Minister Ghazi Hamad said Hamas will react to these attacks.
Some Israel think that it is easy to kill people in Gaza. It is easy to enter Gaza. It is easy to do everything what you want in Gaza here. But we send a message to them that Gaza is not easy bone. It's not easy. You can eat Gaza in 1 minute. If you do something, we will react.
The House and Senate Select Intelligence Committees convened closed-door hearings Thursday into the deadly terrorist attack at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. The House Foreign Affairs Committee also met today on the Benghazi incident. California Congressman Dana Rohrabacher offered up harsh words for the Obama administration.
And we've been told over and over again, well, we're going to learn the details. But yet, just as late as yesterday, the president said that we would be learning all the details, he'd be cooperating with Congress. Yet we have no witness from the administration here with us today to talk to us and to explain under oath what the details of this debacle really are. What is clear is that this administration, including the president himself, has intentionally misinformed, read that, lied to the American people in the aftermath of this tragedy. Now, President Obama has the gall to float the name as possible Secretary of State, the name of the person who is the actual vehicle used to misinform the American people during this crisis. The arrogance and dishonesty reflected in all of this is a little bit breathtaking. And it's about time that the President of the United States decide to level with the American people. Let's find out the facts. Let's not stonewall this issue and cover up mistakes as appears to be happening today.
A senior intelligence official says both the Senate and House Select Committees on Intelligence We'll hear a detailed briefing today. The briefing will include an account of what happened on the ground at the Benghazi consulate the night of September 11th when 4 Americans were killed. They'll also see closed-circuit video recovered from the compound.
Texas is one of nearly 24 states with a petition drive to secede from the United States. Supporters are unhappy with the federal government, but Joel Thomas reports in an effort that's likely to fail, even in Texas.
It was a very emotional election. There's no secret that the opposition to President Obama was always very emotional and deep.
So deep, tens of thousands of people are logging onto the White House website to tell them they don't want to be part of the union anymore. The petition, filed by someone identified as Micah H. in Arlington, states the economy is suffering because of the administration's neglect of domestic and foreign spending. And it says since Texas balances its budget and is the 15th largest economy in the world, it is, quote, practically feasible for Texas to withdraw from the union, and to do so would protect its citizens' standard of living and resecure their rights and liberties. Observers say it's all because of the polarizing and relatively close election.
But it does express a certain amount of grievance, real or imagined, of what's going on.
There's just one problem with asking for secession.
First of all, it's not going to happen.
From a historical and legal standpoint, it's laughable.
But for Texans, there is a perception the former Republic of Texas will always have the right to secede if it doesn't like Washington's policy.
And of course, we've even heard this in relatively recent times from our governor. And the answer is no, that's not true. The annexation agreement gave Texas the right to divide into as many as 5 states, but it did not it said nothing about secession.
The White House says it reviews all petitions on its website with more than 25,000 signatures and responds to them as well. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our weekend forecast.
And what one governor says about Superstorm Sandy's aftermath. Stay with us.
Look, it is not as easy as you think, being hot, young, and still single.
Add that you have this annoying accent, and finding Mr. Right can be really tough.
We decided to pass a link around Facebook, trying to meet people in our area.
Well, they just assumed that we were virus or spam.
No one wanted to click it.
More than 2 years have passed since the Trans-Ocean Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico. BP is now accepting criminal responsibility for the disaster and is agreeing to pay a record settlement. Attorney General Eric Holder weighed in on today's developments related to the largest oil spill in U.S. history. Elizabeth Corridan brings us the latest.
BP pleaded guilty Thursday to 14 charges, including 12 felonies, related to the Deepwater Horizon disaster, and will pay $4.5 billion in penalties.
This marks both the largest single criminal fine, more than $1.25 billion, and the largest total criminal resolution, $4 billion, in the history of the United States.
The April 2010 explosion killed 11 workers and released an estimated 205 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. The toll on the environment was devastating.
About $2.4 billion of the criminal recovery funds will be dedicated to environmental restoration, preservation, and conservation efforts throughout this region.
Along with the criminal and environmental penalties, BP will also pay more than $500 million to settle claims with the SEC. If approved by the court, when the $4.5 billion are added to what the company has already paid in cleanup expenses and other settlements, the oil spill will have cost BP nearly $42 billion. In addition, 3 company officials are facing criminal charges. BP's chief executive issued a statement Thursday saying, "We apologize for our role in the accident, and as today's resolution with the U.S. government further reflects, we've accepted responsibility for our actions." But BP's legal woes are far from over. Under the Clean Water Act, it could be facing a massive $20 billion penalty. That court battle could take years to sort out. I'm Elizabeth Corridan reporting.
Weeks after Superstorm Sandy, residents of the East Coast are still trying to pick up the pieces. Although many residents of these areas are still lacking electricity and necessities, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says they will rebuild.
But we are New Yorkers, Mr. President. We are tough, and we are resilient, and we will overcome, and we will be the better for it.
Well, with Thanksgiving just around the corner, it seems like chilly November weather is really here to stay. Let's take a look at our weekend forecast. Tonight we'll see a low temperature of 31 degrees. Expect sunny skies to start off your weekend on Friday. The high will be 58 with a low of 33 degrees. On Saturday, there will be some cloud cover that will continue through the evening. Expect temperatures to have a high of 59 and a low of 39 degrees. Sunday will bring with it mostly sunny skies, although in the evening there's a chance of showers. The high is 58 and the low is 44 degrees. Monday will start off Thanksgiving week with mostly cloudy skies with a high of 58 and a low of 44 degrees. And students will have a chance to enjoy the last day of class before break on Tuesday. It will be mostly sunny with a warmer high of 62 and a low of 39 degrees. Coming up after the break, we'll check in with Darren Dunn at the sports desk.
And we'll see how one catchy YouTube video is making everyone a little more excited for Thanksgiving. Stay with us.
Welcome to Fogel's.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You expect options everywhere else. Why not with your medical treatment? Talk with your doctor to explore all your options and find what's right for you. Visit ahrq.gov. Every year, 2 million kids play doctor by taking pills not prescribed to them. Talk to your kids about the dangers of prescription drug abuse. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. Well, the Jayhawks return home tonight to take on Chattanooga. Brittany, will you be going to the game?
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't miss it. Well, let's check in with Darren Dunn at the sports desk to see how the Jayhawks will hold up tonight.
Thanks, Brittany. One loss in March, and you're done. One loss in November, and you're stronger. Such is the case for KU basketball after losing the second game of the season to Michigan State. The Jayhawks led by 5 with under 5 minutes to play, but fell victim to solid play from Keith Appling that included a layup with just 14 seconds left.
We actually guard them pretty good, first 25 to 30 seconds of the shot clock, but then they got all the way to the rim twice at game point, and we didn't even rotate over a foul. We didn't do anything. I mean, our soft play, so on those possessions, and that was frustrating. Appling took the game over, and Harris played very well, and I thought we did a pretty good job everywhere else, but they controlled the game late.
Withy continued to struggle with just 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 turnovers. The Jayhawks are home tonight against Chattanooga. Southeast Missouri State played Kansas women's basketball close, but the Jayhawks came away with a 10-point victory. Carolyn Davis had 27 points to go with a mere 2 rebounds. Monica Engelman had just 2 points, but 11 rebounds. Tanea Jackson dropped 12 and pulled down 13 for a double-double that kept Kansas undefeated.
I've got some guys that think I'm supposed to make a play every time I touch it, which turns into bad possessions for us. We got to figure that out and kind of calm down a little bit. And so I told them if I sub myself in, do you think I could just reverse the ball to someone and play on the other side of the floor? And they looked at me. I was like, yes, I could, if you were second guessing that. And could all of you do that? And they're like, yeah, well, we don't do that very often. And a lot of times that's what we need, just to swing the ball. If you're not that guy that has to make a play every time you touch it, and you're not, most of them other than those 3, then it's okay to do that.
Kansas will take on Wake Forest Sunday in Allen Fieldhouse. Undefeated at home, no more. Kansas volleyball finally fell in the Horse Center in 5 sets to number 3 Texas, but the Jayhawks immediately bounced back after a 3-0 decision over Oklahoma. The season sweep of the Sooners came as a product of execution.
Their middles gave us a little bit of a problem. The speed they play, the tempo they play. It's just a zero tempo ball, which creates a little bit of anticipation issue sometimes. But I thought we picked it up behind the block very well and dug well. And one of our keys was, transition to kill, dig to kill, dig to kill. With 61 kills tonight, we had 25 more than they did. Obviously, that was something we got done.
Kansas will take on TCU in Fort Worth Saturday. This is it. One last chance for the seniors to get a win at home. It's an opportunity to snap a 19-game conference losing streak that dates back to 2010. Kansas football returns home against Iowa State after losing in double overtime to Texas Tech in Lubbock. Saturday is senior day, but Charlie Weiss says Michael Cummings will start at quarterback over fifth-year senior Dane Christ. Weiss says the best way to honor the seniors is with a win. As seniors graduate, Weiss wants the players to remember the program.
Throughout the system, with players current, future, and past, is this can't be about who you played for. This is what school you played for. You played for Kansas. You didn't play for Weiss. And it's got to be about Kansas. It can't be about a coach. And I think because there's been a number of coaches, it's been very eclectic and segregated, okay, because it's always stereotyped or grouped with the coach. And I'd rather, by the time I'm out of here, have gotten that stigma out of the way and just have people, glad that they went to Kansas.
p.m. in Memorial Stadium. That's a look in sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Darren. Thanksgiving is next week, but you probably haven't heard many Thanksgiving carols so far, unless you've caught a new YouTube video that's gone viral, featuring a 12-year-old Californian girl. Paul Shankman has the story behind a song that's gotten millions of hits in just 1 week.
There are hundreds of songs about Christmas, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, well, that's a different tune. Or at least it used to be.
I was just the singer.
Nicole Westbrook, who is only 12 years old, has become an internet sensation.
Yeah, 5 million hits.
4 years ago, a job transfer led Nicole and her family to move from St. Louis to Los Angeles, giving her an opportunity to pursue her showbiz dreams. And her big break came 7 months ago, when she was discovered by a video producer who had a similar internet hit last year with a song called Friday. Now it's a song about a Thursday that has turned YouTube into her tube.
I never thought I'd get this many hits, or I never thought I'd be on iTunes, It was just a dream come true.
Among those shouting Eureka about Nicole's sudden fame are her grandparents, Irene and Dick Westbrook, who live in Eureka.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And that's not all they can't believe.
I swear I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that along with these generic beats.
It's Thanksgiving is being branded as a turkey by a lot of self-appointed critics, mostly grousing about the quality of the song, not the singer.
Why make her sing into a turkey drumstick?
Oh my gosh, people need to get a life sometimes, I'm telling you.
It's an attitude that runs in the family.
I don't really mind. I could care less about what they think.
Whatever anyone thinks, Nicole knows what she has to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Well, Juliana, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Thanksgiving.
Me either. My mom's cooking tons of food, and it'll be so nice to see all my family again.
That means we won't have a show next Thursday, but we'll be back the week after.
That's exactly right. And that's all for our 4:30 newscast. For breaking news or an update on what's happening around town, log on to Kansan.com.
And remember, if you see news happening, tweet us at KUJH_news. Thanks for watching.